Hi, welcome to another edition of Pauline Interviews. Once again, I want to thank New Renaissance Bookstore because we are here in their event center. They're so kind to let us come here and use the event center. But then they have a lot of interesting people come here to talk about all kinds of topics. And also the bookstore itself is amazing. If you walk through that bookstore, plan to spend at least an hour because there are crystals and jewelry and chimes and tarot cards and DVD, everything you can imagine, anything alternative healing, metaphysical, probably some other things I haven't even discovered yet. So I want to thank, once again, a big thank you to New Renaissance Bookstore. Now I want to thank my guest, and I want to introduce you to Jacinta Wiley, who is a rapid eye technician. Welcome to Pauline Interviews, and thank you for agreeing to do this interview with me. I really appreciate your time and your expertise.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm very glad to be here.
So before we even get started, I'm familiar with rapid eye therapy. I did an interview years ago on a cable show I had called Parapsychology Today. And so I know, but I bet there are a lot of people watching the show today have no idea, never heard of rapid eye. So a good place to start is tell us what it is.
Well, rapid eye is a model of healing that incorporates a combination of tools, techniques, processes, and imageries, a lot of different things, including EFT and NLP, eye patching.
Explain the initials.
Oh, EFT is emotional freedom technique, and NLP is neurological linguistic programming.
Yeah, I think most people will understand that.
Right, right. Mm-hmm. So, and anyway, it's a very expanded model that includes many aspects to help people release trauma and trapped energy in their system that no longer serves them.
I think some people might not understand this. You know, we're all emotional beings, but people don't realize when you're walking down the street that everything is energy because everything looks so solid. And the other thing they don't understand is that it's good to have emotions. It's not good to suppress them, but once you have them, there's a point where you need to release them. Otherwise, they manifest in your body and they can become a physical ailment. Isn't that correct?
It is correct. And so when you have an experience, it could even be that we were trapped in the birth canal. So that's not like something you remember. But your body will want to keep reliving an experience over and over until you've cleared up that energy. So you could then be trapped in a relationship or trapped in a car. You could have all kinds of things that will trigger you back to that initial experience of feeling trapped. So sometimes we don't even know why we feel what we feel. And with rapid eye, you can pinpoint those specific things and go to that neural pathway in the brain where that original trauma was held and release it.
So yeah, because you walk around and a lot of times I'll know I'm sad because of this or that, but then I'll go, why am I feeling, or why am I keep repeating these same things? And it's because a trauma you don't even realize, it's in your subconscious but not in your conscious mind.
Right, and your subconscious mind is developed when you're so young, and then as you get older, you actually have new information that you don't want to keep living from reactions that were based on when you were young. It's like, oh, you know, I get so mad about this or something. Sometimes something could happen and you're just immediately mad and your whole body's involved in it. And you're not really sure why you took it that far, you know. And that's because it's held within you, in your subconscious.
I see. This is going to be one of the most fascinating and deep conversations we're going to have. So before we get into that, people want to know, how does she know all about this? So tell us a little about yourself and your training and how you got interested in rapid eye therapy.
I'd be glad to. I was just living my regular life, but in overwhelm. And I had a neighbor that, when I started complaining to her about my life, she said, oh, you know, not necessarily interested in hearing this. I know somebody who you might want to go see. And I went to go see Claudia Bianca for my first session. And what I experienced in that session was astonishing to me. She just started, and when she started doing the wand movements where she's working with my eyes, and I could, and it's a ocular release from your eyes, but it's verbal communication. And I would hear these words and phrases, and I'd go, oh, that doesn't relate. That, and all of a sudden, something would relate so powerful, and I could feel that that was a strongly held belief within me. And then I would just say, yeah, I don't want that anymore. But I could actually feel this coming out of my eyes. And I know...
What could you feel?
I could feel the energy that when I'd say, yeah, release it. And she's using this, I could feel that coming out of my system. And I know not everyone feels it that way, but it was such a powerful experience for me that in the first 10 minutes of that session, I thought, I'm going to learn this.
Wow.
And it was the very first 10, within 10 minutes, I went, I've got to learn this. This is the most powerful experience I've had with releasing things within me.
Wow. Had you tried other things before?
I didn't even know I had a problem.
Really?
I just was kind of in overwhelm, right?
Yeah.
So I wasn't in a big problem.
You didn't know where it was coming from either? Or
Not at all.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Wow, you got lucky that your neighbor knew about this.
Yes.
And where did you get your training?
At the Rapid Eye Institute in Salem, Oregon.
Oh, we're lucky. And who started the institute?
Renee Johnson. And she started it. She had a PhD in psychiatry, I believe. And her son was severely autistic. And she wanted to try to reach him. So she started studying the brain. And she's just studied childhood development and all kinds of things, and learned how the brain works and how you store different kinds of things in your brain and in your body, in the cells of your body.
It's amazing. So
yeah.
I should let the audience know that at some point we're going to show them you doing Rapid Eye on me, so they know what the heck we're talking about. Because tell you, when you were doing it, it's kind of strange. You use a wand. Maybe you've got a wand there.
I do.
Yeah, we use the wand, and when you were doing it, I was thinking, is she going to poke me in the eye? She could poke me in the eye. Well, it seems, no, I know you're not.
No, but it's really funny because I have accidentally hit people.
Oh, yeah.
But then if someone worries about it, I say, I've never injured anyone.
Because it's really close.
I've never hit anybody in the eye, but I have accidentally, if they pick up their arm all of a sudden and you tap them with it, it isn't painful.
So people are going to see what you're doing, and you did a lot of talking and stuff. So what does that do? The things you were saying, and where do you get those words from? You were reading from a script.
Right. So Renee's program that she developed, Rapid Eye Technology, includes scripts for all kinds of things that you might be experiencing.
And I used the feeling of sadness in this particular demonstration.
Right. And most feelings are either stemming from sad, mad, scared, or glad, which we like the glad. But
well, why
most
do you want
feelings,
to get rid of glad?
No, you wouldn't want to get rid of glad. But that's one of the feelings.
Oh,
but most feelings are related to sadness, the negative feelings, sadness, fear.
Fear. I was waiting for fear. Fear is a big one.
Yeah, scared, I said the first time.
Fear is a really big one.
Or anger.
So how long did you have to go? What's the school like? Just give us a brief idea of how long you have to go to school. And
it's a home study course, and so as soon as my marriage dissolved, I ordered my kit and got my 12 sessions.
There you go.
And it was very, very good for me. But I had known for 10 years that I wanted to do it, and it wasn't until my marriage dissolved. I just went, I'm ordering my home study kit.
Okay, so you had this done, and you said in 10 minutes it helped you. You said, I got to do this, but you waited 12 years.
10 years, yes.
10 years before you could do it. And you can't do it on yourself, though. Like Reiki's a healing energy, you can self-heal.
True, but as a technician, every session you give, you get a session.
Let's talk about that. I remember that. When you're helping somebody else, what happens to you?
Well, you're just in an elevated state, and you're processing the same information as you're doing it. It's not exactly the same, but you still get plenty.
You still get
benefit.
You get some of that energy cleared out of your body as well. So if somebody's working on SAD like we did to show how it looks, then you got rid of your SAD. In fact, I should stop just for a minute to say, okay, we're going to take a look, because Jacinta did this on me, and take a look, because we're talking about this wand and waving, and unless you see it, it'll be hard to understand. So take a quick look and we'll be right back.
Okay, what did you come in for your session today?
Well, I'm feeling sad. There are things that are happening that make me really sad.
So I'm going to move the wand here and look straight ahead and repeat after me. It is my intention.
It is my intention
To release anything.
to release anything
Causing me to hold on to.
causing me to hold on to
My feelings of sadness.
my feelings of sadness
With grace and ease.
with grace and ease.
It is my, stop repeating. It is my intention to assist you in releasing your feelings of sadness with grace and ease. Blinking it out, release. Sad, guilty, depressed, ego, lonely, discouraged, hopeless, letting it go, blinking it out, release it. Release hopeless, pity, disappointed, grief, sorrow, broken heart, poor me, poor other people, dark, negative, apathetic, lonely, alienated. Release it from every neural pathway. Blinking it out, releasing it. Go to the cause and release it, let it go. Blinking it out, release lonely, alienated, separate, don't belong, don't relate, isolated, rejected, choked up, discontented, shut down, repressed. Blink it all out, releasing it. Blinking it out, release guilty, miserable, shy, withdrawn, bored, alone, stored pain, resistance, remorse. Blinking it out, letting it go, blink it out, release it, release it, release it. With your eyes only, looking down and blinking, release, discontented, worried about other people, disappointed, fear of what's to come, blinking it out, releasing it in all modalities. Release it, release it, release it, release it, release it in all modalities. Delete, 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 blinking it all out, letting it go. Break it up, let it go, let it go, let it go. Break it up from anywhere in your body, let it go for all lifetimes, layers, levels, and generations. Letting it go for your community. Let it go, let it go, let it go, let it go, let it go. Breaking up all the feelings of anger and sadness. Let it go, let it go, let it go. And release it to the light. Release it to the light. Gathering up all that sadness and release it to the earth. Release it to the earth. Release it to the light, release it to the light. And look over here and over here. Left and right brain communicating. Releasing anything unlike love, letting it go. Release, release, release. Release the sadness, release the lost hope. Let it go, let it go, let it go. Shut your eyes tight open, and keep that rhythm going. Good job. And pull. Pull up the sadness, pull it up for your mother's line, pull it up for your father's line, pulling it up from all generations, levels, and pulling it up, pull up the sadness, pull it up, pull up the grief, let it go. Pull, take a big deep breath, and breathe it to the light again, gathering it all up, and breathe it to the light. And one more time, gathering it all up, and breathe it to the light. Close your eyes for just a moment. And just check in and see how you feel. Is anything else coming up for you?
Feel relaxed.
All right, blink it in, blink, blink, blink. I am joy, I am happy, I am delighted, I am complete, I am loved by self, I am trusting the process, I am encouraged, I am hopeful. Blink it in to every cell. I am clarity, I am trusting, I am accepted, I am laughter. I am open-hearted, contented, purified, blessed. Blink it in. I belong, I relate. I am true to myself. I am creative energy. Blink it in, blink it in. Blink it in. I am perfect as I am, unshaken, free-flowing, receptive. Blink it in to every cell. Blink it in for you and for your community. Blink it in. Close your eyes again just for a moment. Open your eyes and look up here. And remember all the times you felt this kind of sadness. Look down here. How does that feel? Remember it, feel it, remember it, feel it, remember it, feel it. Look up here and see all the results of feeling this way. How does it feel? See it, feel it, see it, feel it, see it, feel it. Look up here and look at all the times it's been recreated in your life. That you've been sad for how much other people are not getting what they need. Look down here. How does it feel? Recreate it, feel it, recreate it, feel it, recreate it, feel it, feel it, feel it, feel it, express it, hear it, see it, see it. Let's scramble this by calling it wrong. Look up here and feel it, remember it, feel it, see it, feel it, recreate it, taste it, smell it, hear it. So go ahead and just, all right, so let's look over here and let's just honor this as a human emotion. Repeat after me. I don't want to hear my sadness. Look over here. I don't want to hear
my sadness.
Again.
I don't want to hear my sadness.
Again.
I don't want to hear my sadness.
I don't want to remember my sadness.
I don't want to remember my sadness.
Again.
I don't want to remember my sadness. I don't want to remember my sadness.
I don't want to see my sadness.
I don't want to see my sadness. I don't want to see my sadness. I don't want to see my sadness.
I don't want to recreate my sadness.
I don't want to recreate my sadness. I don't want to recreate my sadness. I don't want to recreate my sadness.
I don't want to feel my sadness.
I don't want to feel my sadness. I don't want to feel my sadness. I don't want to feel my sadness.
Good job. Release it. Release it. Release it. Release it. Release it in all modalities. Good job. Looking down my hand, down the vortex at my hand. Learning from the physical level, getting the body, learning from the field, bringing it back to the body. Blink, blink, blink. Learning from the emotional level, getting a new feeling, bringing it back to the body, getting your own answers and your own connections, getting it, blink, blink, blink. Learning from the mental level, honoring the mind's need to understand, getting a new clarity, a new understanding, bringing it back to the body. Get your own answers and your own connections. Get it, blink, blink, blink. Learning from the spiritual level, see the whole eternal picture, bringing it back to the body. Get your own spiritual answers and your own connections. Get it, blink, blink, blink. Return for further light and knowledge to bring in a high joy vibration. Bring it back to the body. Getting it, blink, blink, blink. Returning one more time for further light and knowledge, connecting to your highest purpose. See it as God would see it. Bring it back to the body. Get your own answers and your own connections. Get it, blink, blink, blink. Take a big deep breath, gathering up everything you've been processing, and breathe it out, dissolving it into the light to recycle. Bringing universal love and light back through all layers, levels, and lifetimes, cleaning up all of the energy fields and bringing it back to the body to recycle. Take a big deep breath in, gathering up everything you've been processing, and breathe it out, dissolving it into the light to recycle. Bringing back, I am processing my experiences differently, receiving new receiving new information to assist me, accepting the accountability of my choices. Take a big deep breath in, gathering up everything you've been processing, and breathe it out, dissolving it into the light to recycle. Bringing universal love and light back through all layers, levels, and lifetimes, linking into every cell. I'm aware and in touch with my spiritual contracts. I am able to choose again. I am happy to be here. I am thriving on physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual levels. Blink it into every cell and all modalities. Take a big deep breath in, gathering up everything you've been processing, and release it to the light to dissolve, letting it go, release it. Bringing universal love and light back through all layers, levels, and lifetimes, blinking into every cell. I am balanced. I am grounded to my complete circuit of energy. I am perceptions transformed to truth. I am free. I am one with all creation. I am joy. Blink it into all layers, levels, and modalities, past, present, and future. Take a deep breath in, gathering up everything you've been processing, and breathe it out, dissolving it into the light to recycle. Balancing, balancing, balancing. Bringing all chakras into their perfect size, shape, color, and frequency. With intention, creating one complete circuit of spiritual energy, bringing everything into wholeness and completion, past, present, and future, in all layers, levels, and dimensions. Bringing everything into wholeness, past, present, and future, hearing the higher purpose, going past the illusion, using negative energy in a positive way, bring all issues you've been processing into completion. Bringing everything into wholeness, past, present, and future, seeing the higher purpose, going past the illusion, using negative energy in a positive way, bring all issues you've been processing into completion. bringing everything into wholeness, past, present, and future, recreating the higher purpose, going past the illusion, using negative energy in a positive way, bring all issues you've been processing into completion, clearing the energy in the first chakra, connect to all chakras, clearing the energy in the second chakra, and connect to all chakras through pure light, clearing the energy in the third chakra, and connect to all chakras through pure light, clearing the energy in the fourth chakra, and connect to all chakras through pure light, clearing the energy in the fifth chakra, and connect to all chakras through pure light, clearing the energy in the sixth chakra, and connect to all chakras through pure light, clearing the energy in the seventh chakra. With intention, remembering your intention, and as I anchor that energy. Great session.
Oh,
close your eyes and column of light coming into your system, turning into liquid light, washing, washing, washing through your system any negative energy from your session down your legs, out your feet, and into the earth. Powerful magnet at the top of your head, and iron filings at your feet, sweeping, sweeping up your body, picking up all negative residue. Tell me when they all reach the magnet at the top of your head. Yes?
yes.
Gone into the light. Now take a big deep breath up from the earth and hold it at your heart. Down from the sun, opening, blending, balancing the heart. Now breathe up from the feminine and down from the masculine, opening, blending, balancing your heart. One more time, breathing up from experience and down from spirit, opening, blending, balancing your heart. And when you're ready, go ahead and open your eyes and place your fingertips together. And your tongue on the roof of your mouth, right behind your front teeth, and press. And that's for grounding. So that would be that's the end. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, hopefully people got a nice sense of that when they saw what we did. And I wasn't sure, when you said blink, 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 I kept blinking and then looking back and forth. And so what is that doing while I'm blinking and moving?
That's part of the NLP portion, the neuro-linguistic programming. And that's where things that you remember are typically in this part of your brain. So like if you're talking with somebody and you go,
oh, that's the right side.
Do you remember this? And often they'll just glance up because they're accessing that part of their brain. And you know, if someone's walking along, you go, oh, I see, and their eyes go up. And then for things that have happened a lot, or if you're creating it, it's like you're not actually remembering it, but you look up there. And you can tell all the time when people are really down on their feelings. They're down.
Oh, okay, so that creates the
movement. So feelings are down low.
That's amazing that Renee could invent this. I mean, it's just, I can't imagine how you came up with this, but it works. The proof of the pudding is that it works. So we talked about what it is, we demonstrated what it is. Now tell us who might come for rapid eye therapy. Like you overwhelmed. Who else might come?
Right, and I kind of went just out of trust at what a neighbor said. A lot of people have different experiences of what bring them to rapid eye. But
you have some good stories?
I do. I have a story about somebody whose parents came to me, and this person had a strong addiction, a drug addiction.
The child?
The child did, about 20 years old. And they were so worried, and there was so much conflict in the family. And we worked about 10 sessions. Well, within probably about 5 sessions, we had some relief.
Did the person actually come to the...
Oh, yes.
Oh, okay, you brought the person in.
Okay, I went to her. I went to her in this particular case.
And she agreed to let you work on her?
Yes.
Thank goodness.
And it took, I told the mother she would also have to get sessions to work with the family issue. And so I worked with both of them. They both began to understand what their parts of it were and how they could take care of themselves.
So you knew that the mother had some reason why the daughter was addicted. Was there some issues with the mother?
No, more like the current situation was too toxic for both of them. And so the mother also needed to understand what was going on with herself and get some relief.
Okay.
Yes, and some relief from the frustration she was feeling.
Well, she was lucky. The parents were lucky the daughter agreed, but
3 years later, she's married and is having a darling baby. There is no conflict in this family, and they are super happy. So that is an extreme case.
That's a wonderful story.
But a great story.
It's a great, you must be happy. Was there anybody that came to you that you couldn't help? Or are there any?
Yeah, but that's probably more about me, maybe, some difficult things. And sometimes I haven't been, I look back and go, oh, I could have done that differently. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And so I can't really say that it is about them or about me. It's just sometimes people maybe aren't even ready to.
Exactly.
That happens.
When I did this interview last time, I remember asking, and I remember I was shocked. I said, you can't do it on somebody with multiple personalities. But Renee said, oh, yeah, I can. Yeah. But there are some people that have some mental health issues that you cannot help with this rapid eye therapy, I think.
What Renee has said in the past was anybody who's had shock therapy doesn't work so good on them.
Now, shock
therapy, electrical shock therapy.
Because it does something to their brain?
It like fries their brain in a weird way.
Oh my gosh.
But I have worked with children. I loved working with like teenagers, young teens.
What's the youngest age you can work with? Do you know?
About, I wouldn't say it has to be 10 because all children are different.
Exactly.
But about 10 is where I would say is comfortable.
How about the other range?
Oh, any age.
Any age.
Oh,
any
yeah.
age. It could be 102 and still do it.
Absolutely.
Okay, good.
And I've just
Not that I'm 102, but there are some centenarians out there. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great. You said you had a couple of stories. Do you have any other story you want to tell us about somebody who came in you helped?
I remember this one about 12-year-old boy. And what I liked about when I was doing a session with him is he goes, oh, I get it. I think I was doing a body walk with him, really. But he's like, I get it. This problem with my parents is I have something I can do about it. And it just was so quick to change. And at another point he says, this is like reconnecting to spirit. Right?
At 12.
Yes. And I was thinking, oh my goodness, it would have taken somebody 20 years older a lot longer to get to that point because they're not as solidified in their belief systems.
They don't have all the filters, right? Is that what you call it?
Well, you don't. When small children don't have filters, but as they're teenagers, they're just not as solidified in who they think they're still discovering. They're not trying to defend their position or what they've grown up with.
They're trying to find themselves.
Right. And who am I if I'm not this person who's depressed? Right? Who am I if I'm not this person in addiction? And it's really hard for people to pull away from that. But when they're still young, they just go, this is like magic.
Yeah, I think I remember doing the interview, they said children are even faster to heal.
I felt that way.
Yeah. Now, Renee started the Institute, I think, back in the 90s.
Very early,
Yeah, or maybe the 80s, I don't know.
I think late 80s, maybe.
Yeah. And so, do you know how many
technicians?
Well, yeah, or all over the United States. You don't have to give me exact.
I think there might be at least one in every state now, but there's areas where there's a lot more in Arizona and Utah and Oregon.
And there's still. And is the Salem the only institute, or is that the first institute? Or do you know if there are institutes?
It's the only institute for rapid eye technology, and they have trained trainers who then train in different locations.
Oh, okay.
So there's about maybe 8 to 10 trainers.
Yeah, so you don't have to be in this area to learn. And you said a lot of yours was online too.
Well, it is a home study course. So it's for everyone. It's a home study course.
That's great. How long did it take you?
Oh, maybe 6 months or something.
Okay.
And then about once or twice a year, at the Institute, they have a training, and you can go down there, and what that is actually is a certification. So you take the information that you've gone through, and you go to that training and do a 5-day where you're just getting signed off and everything. Yeah. So that's the only time you really need to go to the Institute.
Well, that's good, because I imagine if you only do rapid eye for a couple times a year and then you don't do it for a while, you might lose some of your, or would you?
Your skills?
Yeah, would you? I don't know.
Yeah, you do have to update your certificate, but it is a skill. It's almost like riding a bike in that you learn it and you've got body memory about it, cell memory, so it isn't that unfamiliar. Although, I will mention, it is a dynamic model which continues to change and shift.
That's what I was wondering. That's where you go
back.
Right. Yeah.
So you go back to get updated. And initially they used more of, you notice how when we did your little mini session there, and we released these negative emotions, and then blink in the positives. Well, they've gone from they've changed it so there's less negative emotion words and more positives, because the planet is changing.
How so?
Where people are like, oh, I totally do want to own that I'm peaceful, and you know, people don't reject that kind of word as much as they did 20 years ago.
Yeah, we're more lovers than fighters, hopefully. You're saying.
Well, we have gotten more awareness, I think.
I want to make sure I ask you this one, because this one kind of, I saw past life regression therapy where this person went back through a past life that it was so horrific. I'm thinking, oh my God, is she suffering? So I'm wondering, when you take a person back to an emotion, what if the emotions come out big time? You know, is there a way the therapist knows how to handle that?
Yes. So basically, if somebody's getting in overwhelm, then we go to just something real simple and slow it way down and just do from left and right brain. Okay. And this is the emergency process. You're moving the eyes back and forth, and whatever they're feeling is just release overwhelm, release scared, you know, whatever they're going through. Yeah. That's all you do is just back and forth slowly. Shut your eyes tight, open 3 times, and take 3 deep breaths. Okay. So you just keep doing that until they've gotten slowed down and calm again.
Okay, because I was wondering if, you know, you don't have degrees in psychology or psychiatry, but they train you to handle these situations that may come up.
And help keep people safe.
I'm not going to get too more complicated, because I think people should have a good idea. Did ask you one question. You said that somebody could be a surrogate, like if you can't get somebody in, like say I had a child that just would not come in and they had addiction or they had a problem, somebody else could stand in for them?
Yes, we call that proxy. And so basically you would begin the session, and as you begin that session, what you're doing is thinking about that person and allowing, if you don't have their permission,
that's what I was going to ask you.
Then you're basically just saying, I want to do a session for this person, and so you want to send that energy to their energy field. You want to send that session energy to them, and when their system is ready to accept it, it's right there, ready for them.
You know, I can accept all this because I'm into energy medicine. I believe in energy, but for anybody just hearing this, they don't understand how this energy thing works, so it's kind of complicated. Now, we won't talk about them too much, but you brought some pamphlets. If you can remember what they are, we'll show them later. Do you remember you brought me a pyramid?
I just brought a little thing that shows how emotions were mapped during a study and felt it in their body.
Right, that body thing.
To show basically that you're holding energy in your body with different feelings.
Oh, that's cool. We can show that. So because we've done something on aura, so people might understand that. Then you had a brain, and you talked about the limbic system.
Right. So I didn't, maybe you'll have that picture as well. But
yeah, we do.
Basically, the limbic system is in the middle of your brain, and it's where your experiences are processed. So whenever you have an experience, you have both what happened and then the feeling attached to it. And what Rapid Eye's doing is just accessing that's part of your brain, and releasing the emotional attachment to that experience. So you still have the learning from the experience,
Right.
You just don't have the emotional attachment
That's
to
right.
it.
And you need the learning. Most of the times you need the learning. Now, so I asked you before we started the interview, because I know emotional freedom technique, that's part of tapping. Is this similar to tapping, or it's just another branch of tapping?
We have a modified version of the tapping in Rapid Eye that we use, because it is very helpful, and a lot of people have found help just from the tapping itself.
And that's another way to release the energy.
But we have modified it with the languaging for different purposes, so that we use it in a few different ways.
Sounds like it works just as well.
But it is only, it's a small part of the Rapid Eye model.
Is there anything you want to add? I think we covered a lot.
Well, I wanted to share that this is the eye directing device that we use.
Hold it to the camera here. Phil will get a picture of that.
So you can see that this is all hard plastic, and then there's this rubber sheath that goes over this part. And what I was going to show is that sometimes when we're doing a session, this will actually break, and it often breaks inside this sleeve. And I'm going to show you one that's already broken. Yeah. And so this one broke right here, and I made this cut so I could take it apart and show you that where it broke, it is smooth as can be. That's an energy break in the middle of a session.
So somebody's energy
popped it.
Oh,
yes.
Wow.
And
that's amazing.
I try not to break ones because they're not super cheap. But if you tried to break this, so I'm just going to show you real quick. If you did try to break this and say, well, so that what's the big deal? You could do that. And you cannot break this.
No,
and you certainly, if you did, don't break that
no,
one. That's a good
I won't.
But even if you did break it, it would not be flat and smooth like that clear break.
And you have one other little tool there.
Yes. And so this is we also use eye patching in Rapid Eye. And we teach, here, let me take it out. We teach our clients, there it is.
You just put it over your eye?
Yeah. And so we teach our clients to use the eye patch whenever they're feeling any discomfort. It can be that your mind won't shut down.
Whoops.
Won't shut down the overthinking.
Just like that, huh?
Right. Or it could be that, it's just, there you go.
Yeah, that didn't feel too good.
And you can keep your eye open, you notice inside there.
Open,
there's a little bit of a bump there, so it closes it off. Now your right eye isn't getting any input. And typically then your left eye is, which is connected to your right brain. But not everybody's exactly the same, but still it's connected to your right brain. So this might keep you from overthinking, right?
Good, that's good.
Or if you're overly emotional, it might be the other eye that does that.
Okay. I overthink. So,
I've done this quite a bit, and if there's a lot of like, I don't know, you put that on and you can feel it in just like 2 minutes.
Oh, wow.
You just relax.
Yeah. I feel
so we teach all of our clients about
just a little
about 4 different techniques to help them keep safe at home between sessions or when they're done with sessions.
I remember Claudia gave me that one, and I didn't know what to do with it, but now I know.
I have a whole thing just on eye patching as well.
So I won't get into any more detail because rapid eye therapy in itself is fascinating, but you do have, I think when I interviewed Renee, she said there's a life skills, and there were kind of 3 things that she did, the life skills and some other things.
If you don't mind, I would really like to address.
You can do whatever you like. I appreciate you being here.
What Rapid Eye does is it simulates the REM sleep state.
Right.
And that's what happens when you're dreaming. And at the end of your REM sleep state, you have a release, an ocular release.
Rapid eye movement at REM.
Rapid eye movement is REM sleep, right. And so what we're doing is accessing that part of your brain where you work out problems when you're sleeping, but we're accessing it while you're awake and aware and conscious.
That's why you blink. You get the
and that's how you are able. So
rapid eye
we're
therapy.
using the we're using the eye directing device at about 8 to 13 hertz, which is the vibration.
Wow.
So your REM sleep, you're in beta when you're awake, and then you're in alpha and
gamma,
theta,
and gamma, yeah.
and delta.
Delta, okay.
And delta's in the deep
Okay.
sleep,
You
but
know
your
better than I
REM
do.
sleep is alpha and theta. And so we're just mimicking that and simulating that vibration. Your eyes blinking, shut tight, or not shut tight, but just
blink,
blink, blink. That is giving you access to inner, outer.
Wow.
That's just shifting all these things, and it just accesses that part of your brain.
So you're conscious REM instead of unconscious REM when you're sleeping.
Exactly.
One last thing, because it's amazing what Rapid Eye can do. I remember talking to them about sexual offenders. You know, people say, oh, you can't do anything about that. But Rapid Eye has actually corrected sexual offenders. I mean, got them from having that addiction. That's what I understood from my interview.
I think that would probably be true,
but
although personally I have not worked with that particular thing. But I have seen, depression and anxiety and all kinds of things just be lifted seemingly miraculously to the person who's getting the sessions.
Do you see more anxiety and depression more than anything? Is there one specific thing that you see a lot of? That might be hard to answer. If you've been doing this for how many years?
Probably 15 or so.
Wow. I would say just personally, from when I see people are depressed and all this and that, I won't get into why I think it is, but instead of taking things that can hurt them, I think Rapid Eye might be a great way to explore.
I agree. It is not pills.
Yeah.
And it's very honoring to each individual who comes. Each session is tailored to the client. And also, if we can get in, enough sessions, probably at least 6 or 8 sessions, then we can actually do almost like a whole program. We used to call it a 12-session program, but they've fine-tuned it a little bit and tailored it down a little bit.
So it depends on who.
But you can do your birth and your 6 child stages and do some mirror work on forgiveness. And
it's complicated.
So it's a very extensive program.
It's extensive. So how long are the sessions generally?
About 60 to 90 minutes.
And then you said they could go from, you may have to come 6 times or 12 times. It varies depending on the person.
Yes. And like for me, my first session, I felt so much relief in one session. I didn't go back for like a long time, like 2 years.
You said in 10 minutes, you said, this is what I want to do. So that must have been a really amazing
I felt so much relief in one session.
That is
so
great.
That happens for people.
Now, I'm sure there are people going to watch this are going to want to know about it. So I just want the audience to know that we are going to have Jacinta's information up there. She's got a website. We'll get it. We'll put it on the screen. We'll put the information for the Institute in case you want to get training. So you'll get that information, I promise. Is there anything you want to end with? I mean, we could go on and on, but...
I definitely feel like I could go on and on, but I love Rapid Eye. I know a lot of people who have experienced it, and they love it just as much. And I hope that as we work with Rapid Eye Portland, and where we're at here, that the community of the people who need the help will be able to get it.
Yeah, what about post-traumatic stress? Now
it's great for post-traumatic stress.
We hear a lot about that. I wanted to end with that because we hear so much about that nowadays.
Yes.
That's great. And if we didn't mention everything, they could look it up, right? There's a
or certainly give us a call.
Give you a call, yeah. We'll put that information.
Or look on our website, rapideye.portland.com.
Yes. Yeah, we probably can get everything in, but we gave a demonstration. People know what it looks like, and we've talked about what it can do, and your training, so they know they can feel comfortable. They're with somebody who's trained and also experienced it themselves. So thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Pauline.
You're welcome. Thank you, folks, for watching another edition of Pauline Interviews. We'll have another interesting interview coming up shortly. Well, not right away, but next edition. Thank you.